Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So today I want to talk about a throwing routine that you can use before practice or before games. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. What's the best way to get my arm loose? What's the best way to work on my throwing before practice or games start? And so we're going to go over that in 1 second. Before we do, today's video is sponsored by Rocket Sports. Rocket makes top quality baseball gear and equipment. We use a ton of their stuff with our Antonelli baseball teams. Go and check it out. If you go to the description box below, click on the link there. It's going to take you over to their site. You'll be able to save 15% on your next order from Rocket, so go check that out. Okay, so let's talk about throwing routines before practice, before games. We're going to talk about what we have our players do. I'm going to demonstrate it, and we'll go from there. So I think the biggest thing is that there's no special or magic throwing routine. You can really have whatever you want, okay? But I think the biggest thing is to have something. What I don't like to see, and what most players do, is they go to get ready for a game or for practice, and they don't treat the throwing program part of it as practice. They think of it strictly as a warm-up. And so they go out there and they just take a ball and they just start off just kind of throwing like that, and then their partner will back up, and then they'll just be catching it here, and they'll throw a little bit further, and then they get as far as they can. Well, sometimes they don't even get close to as far as they can. Sometimes they get about 90 feet away, and they throw a few more, and they go, okay, I feel pretty loose. All right, bring it on in. And then they throw their last, couple here, and then they say, okay, we're good to play. And they worked on nothing. All they literally did was get their arm moving a little bit, right? And so they got zero training out of that. And for me, think about all the times you're going to practice and you're going to play during a year, right? It's going to be a lot of times. Probably over 100, I would say, for most players between practices and games. That's 100 opportunities to improve. And so if you take your throwing program seriously, you're going to get thousands and thousands and thousands of quality reps over your opponent that's not taking it seriously. And over a year, or 2 years, or 5 years, you can imagine how many extra reps you're getting versus them. And who do you think's going to get better at catching and throwing the ball? Obviously, the player that's taking the reps seriously. So that's the first thing to understand. It's not just to get loose. It's practice. The most important part of the game is catching and throwing. That is the whole game of baseball, especially if you play almost any level, but especially at younger levels. The team that catches and throws the ball best wins the game. And so we should practice that, okay? So I start with that. Now, what do we do for our throwing routine? So what we do is the very first drill that we do, we call them wrong foot forward. So if you're a righty thrower, right, I'll do it right to the camera so you can see. If I'm a righty thrower, usually you're gonna have your left foot forward on a normal throw, right? Well, in this, we put our right foot forward. And all we do is we rotate our upper body, so I get my throwing shoulder on my target. I'm gonna break my hands, and I'm gonna throw, and I'm gonna follow through. And what I'm feeling myself doing is rotating all the way through the throw. I wanna switch shoulders, so if I've got my left shoulder leading, when I throw and follow through, I'll have my right shoulder leading right there, okay? So just again, working on being able to rotate all the way through my throws. We do that for the first, say, 10, 15 throws, okay? Our partner is very close to us, probably about 30 feet away. Now from there, we back up. Now we like to go into our fielding position. So if I'm an infielder, I'm gonna be down like this. I'm gonna have the ball in my glove with my hand on the ball, right here, all right? When I'm ready to go, I'm gonna bring the ball to the middle of my body. I'm gonna go right to left, left to target footwork, and I'm gonna throw the ball, okay? So let's say my partner's there. I'm gonna set up here. I'm gonna bring the ball up, throw and follow through. So I'm just working on 2 steps, bring it up, right to left, left to target, throw, okay? So we'll do that. If you're an outfielder, you can go in a fly ball position, put the ball in your glove, act like you're gonna catch the ball here, just off your left side if you're a right-handed thrower, and you can work on either stepping behind, or if you like to go in front, either one. We have videos on each technique, but the most important thing is use the technique that you like to use in the game. I'm bringing the ball in the middle, I'm transferring, and I'm throwing. Okay, so we'll do that. If you're a catcher, we'll have you get down. We'll act like there's a man on first. You're gonna go through a catch and throw to second base. So you're gonna work on bringing the ball to the middle of your body, breaking thumbs down, short arm action. You're gonna work on taking your right foot towards your left to your targeted throwing, okay? So we'll do that. Now, we've gone through all of our different positions. We move back from there. The next one we do is shuffle and throws. We do this no matter the position. So all you're gonna do, you're gonna have the ball, you catch it from your partner, you're just gonna go shuffle, throw. Use the arm action that you'll use in the game. If you're an infielder, it's gonna be a shorter arm action. Excuse me. If you're a catcher, it's gonna be a really short arm action. If you're an outfielder, it can be a longer arm action. All right, so always using what we're gonna use in the game. From there, we'll push back further. We'll keep working our way out. We'll end up playing long toss. I think long toss is important. You don't have to play it every single day. But one thing I notice players do a lot is that if you don't tell them how far to go, they don't go very far. They end up throwing 90 feet and they say, okay, that's good, and they bring it on in. You're gonna have to throw a lot further than 90 feet in the game. So, especially if you're playing on the big diamond, this is really for any level, but playing on the big diamond, first time maybe you're 13, 14 years old, can't make the throw, and then I see guys playing catch and they only want to throw 90 feet and done. How do you ever expect to make the throw 130 feet? How do you expect to make a throw 200 plus feet from the outfield if we don't work on it? All right, so arm strength and your arm, huge tool, right? It's one of the 5 main tools. Doesn't get practiced enough. And so make sure that we're lengthening it out, and then we'll bring it back in. And when we bring it back in, I like to have them, if they're playing long toss where they're putting some air under it, when they bring it in, I'm trying to keep that arm speed, but I'm trying to drive the ball more on a line. When they get really close, we play quick catch. All quick catch is using our feet, deflecting the ball with our glove, keeping our hands close together. If the ball's within the framework of our body, we'll go 2 hands. If it's outside the framework, we'll go 1 hand. And we're just trying to have some rhythm with our feet, have some rhythm with our hands, deflect the ball, and get the ball moving back and forth nice and quick to each other. We'll do that for a couple, and then we're done, okay? So that's our basic that's our basic throwing routine for infielders, outfielders, and catchers. Now, if you really want to get into it, you can give assignments to the receiver. So instead of the receiver just catching the ball and going through it, you can have the receiver do different things. So as an infielder, maybe you're going to do on one of them, again, it's totally up to you. Maybe you're going to work on cuts and relays. So ball comes in, here it comes. Instead of just catching it here, I'm going to get to the side of the ball. I'm going to use my feet. I'm going to catch the ball in the middle of my body. I'll fake a throw. I'll turn around, and then whatever part we're in, whether we're in this part or the shuffle phase, whatever, you go ahead and do that. But it's just giving the receiver a job instead of just sitting there and just catching the ball. So you can go cut and relay. You can go tag plays, right? So I can act like I'm a middle infielder or I'm a catcher. Here comes the throw. Throw comes. I'm going to straddle the bag or get in front of it. I'm going to work on catching, putting the tag down and getting it up, all right? And so I can do that. I can work on being late with my tags. I'm going to catch it, put it down, and hold it on the guy, right? So I can do all different things, and you can get as creative as you want with this. You can work on double play feeds. So ball comes, instead of again just catching it, maybe I'm a second baseman. I'm gonna work on timing it up so my right foot hits the ground when I catch the ball in the middle of my body, take my right foot to the ball, sit here, transfer, and then come back and throw the ball. So I can do that. There's so many things you can do. There's no special formula. The biggest thing is just come up with something. And if you're a player that your team doesn't have a specific routine, you can do it yourself. Nobody needs to tell you what to do. Just say, okay, I'm going to go through cuts and relays on this. I'm going to go through tags. I'm going to, all the stuff that we just talked about. Just get creative with it and make sure that you're working on something. Don't use that time as just a time to get loose. Use it as a time to train. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we will talk to you later.